What's up, everybody? For those of you wondering, Eris is on vacation, but last week Marvel dropped the finale issue for Donny Cates' Banner of War crossover event, and it was a great closeout to the story. In the final issue, which was in issue 8 of Cates' Hulk title, we get the answer to the long-debated question of who's stronger, the Incredible Hulk or Thor Odin's son. This is something that Marvel has toyed with in comics for a long time, having the two powerhouse characters fight each other many times over the years, with Thor winning some of their confrontations and the Hulk winning others, which left the answer pretty ambiguous. But in the previous issue of the Banner of War story, Thor turned into a Hulk, and Mjolnir came to Bruce Banner Hulk, imbuing him with the power of Thor. And the matchup between the two are about to prove who is the top dog. So with that stage set, let's see how this spectacle plays out in Banner of War Part 5. The comic opens with the Watcher saying, "The question asked for decades past and should the universe survive this day, to be debated for centuries to come. I am Uatu, sworn to watch in passive observation as history's greatest moments unravel in the face of eternity. And here I present to you the question answered at last, who, in a battle to the death, would win? Thor, the god of thunder, the All-Father, or Hulk, the strongest one there is, the World Breaker? Today that question will be answered. However, as with all things, the answer will come with a price." So that's a pretty great way to start the issue. Meanwhile, the Hulk and Thor are battling it out with each other's powers, and Bruce Banner's consciousness is working with Odin's spirit in Hulk's mind to find a way to get Thor to Asgard. Banner says to Odin, "How can I get there if Thor just broke your rainbow bridge? Besides, I'm not sure if you noticed, but I'm a little occupied." But Odin replies, "You don't really think I've given Mjolnir to you so that you can strut about in armor and lightning, do you? Believe it or not, Banner, my son often holds back displaying the sheer scope of Mjolnir's power, but I am not my son. Behold, the Bifrost may be gone, but Asgard remains." As he then uses Mjolnir to open a lightning portal to Asgard behind Thor and punches him into it. As they come crashing into Asgard, Tony notices that Hulk is holding the hammer and says, "I don't get it, Sif. Hulk, he has Mjolnir. Even without it, I mean, Thor has only barely beaten him in the past." But Beta Ray Bill interrupts saying, "This is untrue. The Hulk has never fought Thor. Not the real Thor. In the past, when they have fought, Hulk faced the Avenger, the humble and noble Thor. But do not forget, there was a reason Thor was cast down to Midgard, to learn humility, to learn honor, to learn to wield his power with mercy. But now, Hulk faces not just the mirror of his own rage, but a rage that has been held back for hundreds of years. A power this world has never seen. In the past, when they have clashed, Thor believed truly in his heart that somewhere inside the Hulk there was a man, an ally, a warrior worthy of forgiveness, of mercy. But now, if Thor is truly unleashed, if he sees no man inside of that beast, Hulk will finally learn what it is to fight a god." And with those lines of dialogue, Cates reveals that Thor had been holding back in all of his previous battles with the Hulk. But now that he's fueled by the Hulk's rage, Thor's about to dial it up to 11, making this the true and final test for who is most powerful. But before we continue, if you are a collector, you're gonna want to see this. This insane statue was the first in Figurama's Vampire Hunter D Elite exclusive line, and the first Vampire Hunter D statue of its kind. The design on this piece is unbelievably intricate, down to the smallest detail. For instance, it features two die-cast metal swords. D can carry long swords in his right hand, or a second longsword can be attached to his back as the reins are held. You also have various swappables with two swappable portraits for his head and two swappables for each arm. This amazing design is from the same team that worked on the design and concept art for Attack on Titan, Devilman, and Bleach statues. And to take it to another level, Figurama worked closely with the legendary Yoshitaka Amano to earn his stamp of approval on this piece. So each statue bears his signature on the base. Again, if you're a collector, this Vampire Hunter D statue is a limited edition and is bound to double in price once they sell out. And it has to be noted that Figurama statues tend to sell out very quickly, sometimes in as little as an hour. So make sure you jump in on the pre-order on September 3rd at 11 p.m. JST, that's Japanese Standard Time. You can also join the wish list to be alerted as soon as the pre-orders open, and if you use our coupon code, which you see on screen and you'll find in the description, you can get a $25 discount on the statue at checkout. So check the link below for more details and to join that waitlist. Now jumping back into the story, as Beta Ray Bill is saying all of that to Tony Stark, we see Hulk and Thor laying into each other, with Thor ultimately ripping off the Hulk's left arm. Odin then sees an opening and has Banner hit Thor right into the World Tree. Banner asks Odin, "Is that it?" Is it over? And Odin replies, "Your monster. It is fueled by rage. You said it yourself." And yet here you are in control of that madness. You have learned to cage it, to let it fuel you instead of control you. Your battle may be over, but for Thor, right now we are using the united power of every realm in the known and unknown universe to cage his madness. All of the voices of the elders whispering to him, guiding him back to the god he is. All of the magic and enchantments known to the runes and fates to leech this fury from his soul. All of this, and I don't think it's enough. We then see the world tree wrap its branches and vines around Thor to try to snap him out of his Hulk rage, but as Odin thought, it was not enough. Thor breaks free and rips the world tree completely out of the ground, causing Banner to really see the seriousness of the situation. So he tells Odin, if he doesn't stop, we're talking the end of reality. We've got to calm him down. It might be time for less force and more words. Odin agrees and tries to speak to Thor through the Hulk, saying, "My son, it is I, your father. It is Odin." Thor looks back at the Hulk and Mjolnir as Odin continues to say, "I am sorry, my son, not only for your many troubles, but for what I have done as well. I know I have not always been kind to you. I have made many mistakes, too many. But through it all, despite my failures, despite our differences, I must remind you, I still love you, son." A clearly affected Thor then throws the world tree to the side as Odin says, "If you would, my boy, allow me to do what all fathers are called to do for their sons. Help them with their burdens and relieve them of their woes." At this point, Hulk is close enough to place the Odin-imbued Mjolnir on Thor's head to remove the gamma radiation from Thor's body, which ends up causing a massive explosion on Asgard. And when the dust clears, we see the Hulk with his armor on the floor and Thor now completely returned to normal. On the following panel, captions have Tony asking Thor, "That blast, it knocked me out. What happened in there? Where is Hulk?" And Thor responds, "The magic within Mjolnir was able to remove my gamma and restore the world tree. But the resulting explosion of energy was too much for all but a god to withstand. Bruce Banner, the Hulk, is dead." However, we see that in reality, Thor let the Hulk escape after the explosion. Stark then says, "I can't believe he's gone." And Thor responds, "I think in some way Banner let himself be destroyed. He wanted to be free," as he puts Tony on a chariot to send him back to Earth. Once Tony's gone, Thor asks Lady Sif where the Hulk is, and she answers, "Far from here. Where he is going, even I cannot see." "Thor, should you really have let him go?" To which he replies, "Banner is not to blame for what happened in El Paso, but he knows the world would forever doubt his innocence. I have lived behind Banner's eyes, Sif. I have felt his rage and his pain. I share in those things more than I wish, so I must respect his will. And maybe someday he shall find healing as well. He deserves it. We all do." And as Thor is speaking, we see the Hulk flying away, along with a shot of the armor he was wearing while wielding Mjolnir, now hanging in the Asgardian armory. But just as the issue comes to a close, the eyes of the armor begin to glow, setting us up for whatever is coming next in the Hulk and/or Thor titles. Is it Odin, or maybe the embodiment of Titan Hulk? I don't know, but everything Cates has been doing with these two characters has been stupid fun to read, so I'm in for wherever it's headed next. One of the coolest aspects by far of the Banner of War miniseries is that it added another level to Thor's mythos and essentially a definitive statement that Thor is more powerful than the Hulk. It was pretty wild in the final issue of this series to see reality hit Bruce Banner Hulk and realize in the moment that when Thor truly lets loose, he is nearly unstoppable. I mean, he tore the world tree out of the ground at the root and was going to destroy all of reality out of rage. I'd say that's pretty definitive. We also now know that the next big outing for Donny Cates and Ryan Ottley will be another big Hulk story called Hulk Planet, where the Avengers believe that Bruce Banner is dead, while the Hulk goes deeper into the bleed, hoping to finally find the freedom and peace he's been wanting. He'll also be out there looking for a solution to the Titan problem, which is essentially the Hulk's Hulk. And from what we know so far, there's also apparently a mysterious and powerful monolith out there that has other plans for the future of the Hulk. So we cannot wait for Hulk Planet to drop, and you better believe we're going to be covering it here on the show. Having said all that, it is now your turn. What did you guys think of the Banner of War storyline? Did you like it as much as we did? Let us know down in the comments. And that does it for another episode of Variant, but if you were into this video, I recommend this one as well. Other than that, we'll see you next time when we talk all things comics.